And what is up, everybody? Okay. Keep hearing and seeing posts about Mark Hunt being pissed off about Brock Lesnar. Well, one, because Brock Lesnar made like $2 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. I think like he was the most, like he ended up not even being the main event, and he was, and he was the highest paid that night. Mind you, he's on loan from WWE, so chances are WWE had something to say, about that, and WWE might have had to, he might have had to fork up some money to WWE to be on loan like that. But the biggest problem is because he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Duh. Brock Lesnar, I don't know how long before it was finally announced that he was going to be fighting in UFC 200? What, a month? Not even? Barely had enough time. Mind you, he's still wrestling. He's still in WWE. WWE says they have, this wellness program, this, that, the other, and it prevents you from, you know, uh, prevents you from doing, performance enhancing drugs. That's just the smoke screen, to basically like make you feel like they don't. Chances are that the majority of them do because they suffer a lot of injuries. They have to put out a bunch of shows. They need to heal quickly. So what do? They take steroids. They start juicing. Why? For the sole purpose of being able to get back in the ring and performing night after night after night. It's ridiculous, but that's the job they're in. That's why I don't like WWE. So of course Brock Lesnar was juicing. And then for them to make the announcement that he's gonna be fighting in UFC 200, like in maybe a month and a half, whatever is in his system isn't gonna clear out by then. He might have stopped, but even Tim Sylvia, the what he was busted for. He was, oh yeah, this, stop taking it after a month, and he was doing it just so he could get ripped, just so he could get shredded, just so he could get a six pack. That's all he was taking. That's all he was taking it for. He was off it for I don't know how long before his fight, and he still manages to test positive. You know, so of course, traces of it is going to be in his system. You don't necessarily have to be high from marijuana to be in your system. Different things like that. So of course, I'm not surprised that they tried to basically give him a waiver from being tested before the fight. Otherwise, he would be disqualified. Then of course, supposedly he tests positive, then tests positive again after the fight. Of course he did. I'm not surprised at all. But when they first said that he was going to get a waiver, that he wasn't going to have to, Mark Hunt still agreed to fight. Mark Hunt, I love you, but you agreed to fight. When Randy Couture lost to Josh Barnett, Josh Barnett tested positive and was forced to relinquish the heavyweight belt. They could have turned that into a no contest easily. Easily. Randy Couture straight up said, no, I lost that fight. That's all there is to it, unfortunately. When it comes to there's certain things about, like, I'm not advocating for performance enhancing drugs in any way, shape, or form. However, I cannot take any form of anabolic steroid right now, step into the octagon by Saturday, and put on the same performance that Brock Lesnar did for UFC 200. Impossible. Anybody watching this, never studied a combat sport in their life, never did a martial art in their life, cannot take steroids and duplicate the same performance as Brock Lesnar did. That took a lot of training, and a lot of talent on his part, a lot of hard work. And like I said, he was in this, like when he stepped into the cage at UFC 200, he was in the same shape he was when he first won the undisputed WWE heavyweight title. I'm talking about when he was 25 years old, back in 2001. No, back in 2002. That's the shape he was in, and you better believe he was juicing at that point. So yes, I'm not surprised this stuff was found in his system. He might have been off of it for a while, but it was still in his system. Mark Hunt, unfortunately, you lost. You knew when they first gave you this waiver, you knew this was gonna happen. Now I feel sorry for you because I don't know when's the next, because Brock Lesnar has to go back to WWE. I don't know when's the next time he's actually going to fight again. I wanted you to get back in the title contention. Unfortunately, you lost. So I don't know. I wasn't sure what it would take for you to be able to get back into title contention. If you'd have knocked out Brock Lesnar, almost guaranteed you would have been like, second in line. If Stipe Miocic would have gotten injured, guaranteed they'd have put you up again for another title shot against Alistair Overeem. But instead, unfortunately, you lost. But now you're ranting and raving. First off, you're supposed to be my fellow brother in Christ. You're using the. I don't judge people for cursing, but you're setting a bad example. Not to mention the fact that you are just being a whiny little brat right now. Seriously, man. Take it as it is. Is it fair? Probably not. But at this rate, UFC will probably just pay you out. No option. Just pay you out, send you on your merry way. And you might have to fight for Bellator, and that would, you might get paid a little bit more, but Bellator sucks. They'll do you like they did they'll do you like they did Quentin Rampage Jackson, or they did Joe Riggs. Freaking guys that earn a title shot, guys that earned an opportunity to really showcase themselves. Joe Riggs winning the Fight Master show, which was leaps and bounds better than Ultimate Fighter, and rather than give him like a regular contract with Bellator, instead he wins a shot in their welterweight tournament. It's like, wait. He just fought in one tournament just so he could earn a spot in another tournament. What the hell sense does that make? Then Quentin Jackson winning the light heavyweight tournament, earning a light heavyweight title shot. Tito Ortiz gets it after earning a number one contender. He beats their current middleweight champion, because their middleweight champion had to go up in weight class to fight him. Then a very lackluster fight against Stephan Bonner. All of a sudden, he gets a light heavyweight title shot. Meanwhile, Rampage is on the bench for 6 months. Comes to fight for UFC. Is allowed to fight for UFC one time. Wins that fight. Then takes forever for them to finally give him another fight. He's so old and out of shape. He barely held his own in his last fight that thankfully he won. That's what Bellator does. And Mark Hunt, if you don't just shut up, take it as it is, and just try to prove them wrong, and really try to get back up there. That's what's in store for you. Either get mistreated here, and slowly but surely make your way back up. Make your way back up to the top, or Bellator. Those are your only real options. World Series, not even a competitor. Not even a competitor. Like any other promotion, it's what are you gonna do? You're gonna go fight in King of the Cage. You could probably win the heavyweight title there, but that's a regional championship, not a world championship. That's gonna be that's what's in store for you if you don't be quiet right now. Is it fair? No, but you're not gonna get justice the way you're going either. Mark Hunt, I love you. And for any MMA fan, I understand. UFC, does a lot. Does a lot of their good fighters dirty, unfortunately, because Dana White, they have to go through the trouble of trying to make money. And I've said this before when it comes to the fighters union. If they do fighters union, then Dana White's gonna have to be forced to pay out to guys that don't sell, and that's they have to do what's in their best interest. They'll be forced to pay guys and keep guys that don't sell. It sucks. Mark Hunt, I love you, but this is not the way to go about getting justice. I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.